He respect what I've done. He'd be a fool not to. I don't think he's that ignorant. I just think that when you're young, just because you have your driver's license, that don't mean you're an experienced driver. That's why the insurance is higher than the average person that's past 35 or 40, because they are higher risk. That means because they're young. It's not because they can drive or can't drive. They got license. That don't mean you can drive because you got license. Are you an experienced driver? Are you an experienced pro? That's the difference. And the only way you can get that is called the clock, time. You can't fast and speed time up because you want to learn fast. Normally, people that want to learn fast, they normally meet their demise. The ones that take their time and let time work for them, and that let time work against them, they normally come out to be that blossom rose that finally got what they wanted in time. Everything is in time. Everything works on the clock. The clock don't work with that. I understood that, and I understood it today.
But no, the last fight was one of the best fights of 2010.
Excuse me,
was it? You got something?
Okay, okay.
That
was pretty deep one. That was pretty deep. That was pretty, I like it. That was pretty deep one. That was pretty deep. Good.
The last fight was one of the best fights of 2010. What should we expect this time around?
I tell you, you should expect drama. You should expect a lot of punches, and Bernard Hopkins to be extremely out of character in the way I fight this fight. Not in a way of not thinking, but when I mean out of character is what they seen last fight was normally not the Bernard Hopkins of the last couple of years, because I sort of saved myself to be here today. And I'm a boxer puncher, and I'm considered one of the smart boxers that my job is to hit, not get hit. If you want to have longevity, you better learn how to duck some, and I've been good at that. But what I mean out of character is that I'm going to get something, and when you're going to get something, you have to understand that there is a risk. Just look at me as like the Navy SEAL in boxing. When you go and you're going to look for your target, and you're going to get that guy in his hometown, in Montreal, where he actually lives, that's a situation where you go into enemy's territory. You're going to seek, and you're going to capture, and you're going to destroy, and you're going to win. When you do these things, you got to understand your mindset. My mindset is going in there with one objective, is to win by any means of legal boxing skills necessarily, and leave out of there. Even the judges, even the fans will root for me as the fight goes on, by round, like they did in Quebec City. They was hollering his name. They start hollering my name. This is 90% Canadians. When I fought Tito Trinidad, I know the past is the past, and I don't live in the past, but I got to make a point. When I was in Madison Square Garden, there was 20,000 plus people there, and 90% of them was Latin, Hispanic fans of Tito Trinidad. They accept that, you know, I was doing my thing, round 6, maybe round 7, and they start hollering Bernard Hopkins, B-Hop or whatever. That is respects that fans normally forget who they're supposed to root for, because they see something special. You know, you go there to say, man, this guy's going to win, or this team going to win, and you get to watching something, you forget that, oh, till your friend hits you, you know, your friend said, wait a minute, you rooting for the wrong guy. They get caught up. And the real fans get caught up, and they speak the truth. It's only when it becomes afterwards it get, you know, diluted and opinions and emotions, and then it get a little changed. But that night or that fight, like in Canada, and I had 4 people there, and that was my team. Everybody else was Canada. So, you know, less of my 4 people that was with me had big mouths. They was really giving me my respect there, and they wouldn't even let me out of there. Everybody wanted autographs, everybody wanted pictures. My publicist Kelly was trying to keep everybody off, and Richard Schaefer from Golden Boy. But I signed the autographs, I shook their hand, and now I'm bringing the fight back to Canada, in Montreal, where we have a lot of United States, a lot of people there representing the country and representing my skills and myself. So I'm glad to be close to the States than further up in Quebec City.
The last 8 rounds, you dominated him. What's that mean psychologically? Going into this fight, both for you and for him? Well,
I know the first 4 rounds, well, the first 2 or 3 rounds looked pretty shaky for me, coming from 2 knockdowns off the canvas, and I had to fight my way back and show that what I'm made of. that's in back of my head to not get knocked down early and not to get knocked down if not in the whole fight. But I want to start off just a little bit more quicker, a little bit more, I guess, aggressive, but to the point where I work off something, not just walk in looking for one big shot, and back him up. I believe that my advantage is to back him up. I don't believe he can fight backing up. I believe he's a guy that needs time, need room, need to rest, need to throw shots, and fight 30 minutes of the round, and 30 seconds, excuse me, of the round. And so everything that he likes to do, I got to do the opposite and do it often. I have to show him that at 40-something years old, that still has to be in his mind as an advantage for him, that it becomes a disadvantage for him. So everything he do, I'm going to match it. So if he throw one, I'm going to throw five. If he throw two, I'm going to throw six. I'm going to make sure that I do more than he's doing it every time. Psychologically, he's going to have to keep up with me. And that's going to be the change of the game. The change of the game, which is the plan, the fight, and the whole outcome, it will be early. I will set the stage early, and you will see as the fight go on how long it will go. You will see the change, and you will see the fight become one-sided.
Most of his comments is he's been happy with the draw. He said the judge just said it's a draw, and you know when it's a draw, most fighters think they won the fight. Do you think there's at least 1% of him that knows he lost that fight?
Oh, he knows he lost the fight because I'm not happy with the draw. If I believe I won, I'm going to be hollering and screaming that I won the fight. But he's happy with the draw because he feels that he got out there and he get a chance to make wrong right. And I'm going to be prepared for that. I'm looking for him to come with his A game. I'm looking for him to come with something he has to prove. And let's not forget, he's in his town where he lives, in Montreal. So he's going to be under a lot of pressure. I don't mind going to anybody's town to fight because I understand that the pressure is on him. He has to hear what he needs to do, and what his fans and family and friends and everybody is counting on him to do. So the pressure on him, being a younger guy, being a guy that wants to prove that it's his time in boxing right now, there's a lot of mental pressure. There's a lot of pressure for him to deliver, and I'm going to make him play into that whole thing, and that's going to be one of his demise.
Two European and 2 Asian officials, you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Because my thing is, as long as the referee is not from Canada, as long as the judge is not from Canada, and that was the problem. The problem wasn't anything else but the scoring, and the scoring was ridiculous, and the worst thing they could do is give them a draw. And so when you have that situation, you got to look at it and say, look, this is not right, it's got to change it, and the WBC did the right thing.
Can you give some more specifics on your diet and your workout regimen that you've been...
The word diet is...
All right, you're eating healthy.
Nobody likes the word diet, at least I don't. Because diet means you gotta you gotta suffer from the things that you want to eat but you can't eat. That is so boring and life is so short. If you want a piece of cheesecake, eat a piece of cheesecake. Hell, eat 3 pieces. But if you don't run and burn it off and do something that's going to make you look for another cheesecake as you treat yourself, then you gotta understand everything in moderation. Even something that's good to become bad. Something that's good, anything that's good can become bad if you don't do it in moderation. So when you take the word diet, that means you restricting yourself from certain things. And that's not, I'm not. Some people probably need to be on a diet, but it is what you eat and then what you do after that. If you eat and don't work, right, to eat again, which means another cheesecake, you gotta understand. If you want to give yourself a treat, you also got to go through some pain.